Have you ever been on a road trip on the East Coast and gotten a ticket in Virginia? Well, you probably got it right here. This is Emporia, Virginia, and I could argue that it is the worst speed trap in the United States. If you're leaving Virginia Beach or Richmond or Washington, D.C., there's really no efficient way to leave Virginia by the south. Emporia is in a strategic stronghold for speed traps. It is near the border of North Carolina, practically on I95, and 85 is not too far either. I quickly visited a friend in Virginia Beach, and I decided to take the scenic route through the speed trap itself. Welcome to Emporia, Virginia, a town that I could argue survives solely off the art of pulling somebody over. The food lion behind me, that's how you know you're in a small town. I went back to Virginia Beach to visit some friends of mine that I hadn't seen in a very long time. And I just did a spontaneous road trip there, 9 hours, good old stuff. Growing up in Virginia, you notice one thing. Driving absolutely sucks here. I never realized how bad it was until I lived somewhere else and came back. But what this video is a warning. It's a warning for all of you who go to Virginia and drive through it to get somewhere else. My route, for example, say you wanted to go from Virginia Beach to Atlanta. Extremely simple route. You take 85 almost the entire way, but you take this one road called 58. And 58 is the perfect personification of Virginia and their speed laws. In Georgia, you'll have 70 miles an hour almost the entire way. South Carolina, 70 miles an hour almost the entire way. North Carolina, you're getting the picture. As soon as you enter Virginia, 45 and 55, almost the entire way. Occasionally you get 60. Ooh, oh my God, watch out. The highways in Virginia are incredibly nerfed, I guess you could say. Highways in Virginia are extremely slow. And there's a few reasons I believe this is true. Before I really get into this, let me just say this is not a police hating video. I believe that police are needed for a society because that's how things work. But at the same time, I do think there is a limit of being ridiculous, and Virginia is ridiculous. A lot of people have called Virginia the Switzerland of the US when it comes to speed laws, because Switzerland, if you're ever in Europe, is atrocious. I got a ticket over there for 2 kilometers over the speed limit. 2 kilometers, not miles an hour. Right now I'm on 58, and believe it or not, this highway is 45 miles an hour. Just from 55 to 45 to 55 to 45 to 60 to 45. So what does that design tell you? It's designed to pull you over. It makes me sound very bad, but here in Virginia, you really do feel like the cops are out to get you when you're driving. From Virginia Beach to Emporia this morning, I counted 13 police officers. I saw 3 or 4 within 3 miles. It seems so unnecessary, and you go, why? Well, when you drive through these little towns like Emporia, you're like, well, there's not that much that goes on here, and I guess that speeding tickets make a lot of money, so that's how they make most of their money. Getting a speeding ticket is one thing, but like I said before, a police officer borderline harassing you is another. And I know you guys are gonna say, but David, why don't you just get a radar detector when you drive through Virginia? If it couldn't get any more shady when it comes to speeding, they don't allow radar detectors. They are completely illegal. And then you're gonna say, oh, well, they're never gonna know. Well, state troopers in particular have radar detectors. So there's no way around it. Going 80 miles an hour and above in Virginia is automatic reckless driving, no matter how high the speed limit. So theoretically, say the speed limit was 75 miles an hour, which would never happen in Virginia, but say it did. Even if it was 5 over, 80 miles an hour and above would still be reckless driving. And I've been pulled over in other states before for speeding, and the cops are always very lax about it. But here in Virginia, I would have gone to jail. There's no doubt about it. It's insane. Right now, the speed limit is 55. I have all this open space. It's absolutely ridiculous how I can't go a little bit faster. It's to the point where the gearing in the Mustang absolutely hates cruising to 55. It's like, can't we go 60? Can we please? Is it really that dangerous? On my drive from Virginia Beach to Emporia this morning, I actually saw a cop pull over somebody. He stood on the side of the road with his LiDAR gun. The Sequoia, the car that was pulled over, left the lane very gently. And as the Sequoia was leaving, the cop raises his LiDAR gun. As he just gave this guy a ticket, he was trying to get him again within 30 seconds. That's just dirty to me. That's just harassment to me, and that's unacceptable. The reason it's such a great speed trap is because 85 and 95 are fairly close together when it comes to Emporia. So say you're coming from Washington, D.C. or even New York City, and you're taking your long drive to Florida for vacation. To go down 95, you have to go through Emporia. To go to 85, you have to go through Emporia if you're coming from the East Coast. So no matter what, if you're going this way to this way or this way straight down, you gotta go through there. I actually entered a criminal justice program in senior high school to see if being a police officer was for me. I very quickly found out I was way too nice and would let the majority of speeders go, because I never felt as though those people were endangering people. Yes, the law is the law when it comes to the speed limit. But in my opinion, not to get too political, what a waste of resources. You're gonna send all these people to driver school for 5 miles over the speed limit, which doesn't even feel any different inside the car. So if you follow any rallies or road trips that are organized like that, you'll notice that almost none of them go through Virginia because someone has been to jail before. I've seen some rallies go to the extent of going to Maryland, then West Virginia, then Tennessee, then back around into North Carolina because they did not want to drive through Virginia that bad. And that is sad to me. Growing up in Virginia was incredible. I loved it. It was perfect. Oh, there's one. There's a cop right there. Prove my point. It's sad to me because the Shenandoah Valley is so beautiful. Jamestown is where we first landed as settlers. Williamsburg is here. Washington, D.C. you got to go through Virginia to get to. There's so many cool things in Virginia to visit, but so many people don't come back because of the speed limits. And I honestly think that the government here doesn't realize that they literally lose money on tourism because they steal money with speeding tickets. And almost everyone I've ever known who has road tripped through Virginia has gotten a ticket, whether it's for something stupid like window tint or going 5 to 10 over the speed limit on a highway like this. This highway should be 65 at least, and it's 55. People ask me all the time why I moved out of Virginia. This was one of the main reasons. I also helped run a car meet at night called Cato's for almost 3 years. And I did everything to keep that car meet alive. I would pick up like 6 bags of trash because people were so disrespectful and they would litter, but I didn't care because I wanted my local car scene to survive. But we still got kicked out. The car scene in Richmond, where I grew up, is pretty much dead. Same in Virginia Beach. Car lovers are pretty much not valued here in Virginia. I'm gonna leave you guys with a question. Have you guys ever driven through Virginia, and have you ever gotten a ticket? And what's the worst offense you've gotten in Virginia? The worst offense I've ever gotten in Virginia was a reckless driving ticket that almost sent me to jail. I had to get a lawyer and everything, and I had to spend all of my savings at the time. I was 19 years old and broke afterwards. Also, thank you to everybody who purchased the Smiles Per Gallon sunglasses. You have no idea what that means to me, and it really does help me and support me. So thank you so much. And these things are so comfortable. I wear them every day, and they have not broken a sweat, and I've even dropped them a million times. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a question. Have you guys ever driven through Virginia, and have you ever gotten a ticket? And what's the worst offense you've gotten in Virginia? The worst offense I've ever gotten in Virginia was a reckless driving ticket that almost sent me to jail. I had to get a lawyer and everything, and I had to spend all of my savings at the time. I was 19 years old and broke afterwards. If you can avoid Emporia, I recommend it, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye. Hey, you want to feel like a car washing badass? Here, use this. Load foam cannon with 4 to 5 ounces along with a little bit of clean water. Rinse car, spray epic super thick sudsy foam onto car. Rinse off. If you want to support this channel while also cleaning your car with the best stuff around, make sure to head over to www.pattersoncarcare.com. Made by car dudes for car dudes. Oh look, you're still here. That means you're about that life. If you guys didn't know, there is now the ThatDudeinBlue membership. All you have to do is go under the video right here, hit that join button, and you get exclusive live streams with just me, myself, and other members. Right now, there's only about 25 other members, so it's a super intimate experience. We also might even plan a trip in the future for members only to where we do a bunch of car stuff together. So I'm excited about that. I want to thank everybody who has signed up so far, and thank you guys for sticking around all this time. Thank you so much.